Hey, this is Alex Vasco with All For Him Racing Videos, and you're listening to Cash on the Hood podcast. When you're done listening, please go over to YouTube and check out all the number 4 Him Racing videos for all your derby action needs.
Hey, yo, it's Cash on the Hood. You're here with Jason Sauer and my main man, Steven Sickles. Who are we with today?
Nicole Glass from J. Sauer.
Nicole, it's so exciting to be here. We've been scheduling this for quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
All right. So before we get started, of course, I need you to like, share, subscribe. You know how it is. And we got to thank our man, Brian Cottington in the Cinema Psychos in 300-plus episodes. He's running the decks here at StudioME. And Steven Sickles, of course, has Revved Up GarageCast.
Revved Up GarageCast.
That's right, on every channel. So we are streaming from Lipson on every single podcast channel, and we're here with StudioME. So tell us about how you got started in this whole J.A. Sauer. And
I get asked that question so many times. It's so bad. But it's actually kind of like funny because my husband has been with the company for 23 years, and 3 years ago they approached me. I was a stay-at-home mom. Bob, who was our general manager, was going to retire, and they were like, we need somebody for recruiting and marketing. And I'm like, I could do that. Mm-hmm. I like to talk. I'm a people person. Sure, I got this. So I worked under Bob for a year, and then he retired, and then I've been doing it ever since, and I just love it.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you run the Facebook page for J.A. Sauer?
I run the Facebook page, our anything social media, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. And then I also run just our website, make sure all that stuff is running smooth.
All right. Well, let's recap for everybody. I want to thank you guys for being a sponsor of the Great Stone Barrel Fair, Most Wanted Fine Art Demolition Derby Track Shot Live effort. As you know, to your left is the 2021 Unified Point Series champion, Steven Sickle. Haha, he's our guy.
I haven't heard him for a few weeks.
I know, right? So we're bringing you on here to highlight you and thank you from the Derby community for being such a sponsor, showing off Stone Barrel. That was a really big event for the town, for the county, and for the sport itself. You actually sponsored what I consider the hardest hitting heat in the history. That Most Wanted class where Fatty got annihilated was one of the hardest ones ever.
It was a little wild, yeah. It was a little sketchy. Fatty was in the Ford Focus, and I was a little bit worried for him.
Right. So we had the announcer announce J.A. Sauer over the whole PA system. Uncle Jim was there. So it was a big win for the Sauer family. It felt like having your name in the newspaper.
That's awesome.
So thank you again so much for your
welcome.
support. You guys support a lot of other projects too.
We do. We're a longtime supporter of autism. We have a few of our staff members that their children have autism, mine included, and so we feel that was one big thing that we definitely wanted to support. We've done golf outings for it and raised a lot of money to give back to some of the community efforts to get the kids some therapy and stuff like that they can't normally afford. We also do local churches. We just did a 5K sponsorship for Shaler area elementary schools. It's a program that they just started to give back to the kids for reading and trying to get them more exercise and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool to be a part of that. They sent us a t-shirt and stuff. One of our biggest projects that we have going on right now, though, is called Heat the Berg. Now, we're a carrier authorized dealer. And so with that said, we are partnered with Standard Air and Light. And what they did was they came together and made this program where we're actually giving free furnaces and labor to a needy family. We just did one last year. Last year was our first year that we did it, but it's been 3 years going, this program. And it's really nice because the community all goes out and above and beyond to nominate people and people that really need the help. The lady we did, she didn't have heat for 3 years, and her pipes froze, and her house it was a mess. I felt so bad for her, and she has MS and stuff, so she couldn't really do anything. She had space heaters. It was bad. So her neighbors nominated her, and it was really nice to go in and spend the day with her. I was there. Kevin was there, my husband, and our crew, and we got it knocked out in less than a half of a day, and she was happy. She was warm by the time we left, so it was really nice. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I know how important that is, because it's, their quality of life is based upon how comfortable you are.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And so not having that quality of life. So I watch my buddy Tommy sleep with his dog at night whenever his furnace goes out. So you can hear firsthand.
Yeah. It was really moving, and what was amazing is there was 15 of us in this program, CFAD dealers, carrier authorized dealers. So we, throughout all of the Eastern PA or Western PA, we were able to do 15 furnaces for people that didn't have heat last year. So it was pretty nice.
That's very generous. How big is J.A. Sauer?
So we have roughly 90 employees, and we cover quite a bit area. We cover all of Allegheny County and everything around it. So we cover within at least an hour and a half of where our shop is.
Nice. I remember when you were a young man, Stephen, you used to run the phones for some HVAC, right?
Yeah, I worked at a company down in Uniontown called Aranix twice. It was sort of like just a local place that all my friends worked at, so it was sort of like if you didn't have anything to do or didn't have a job, you sort of fell back in there. But
I remember when you gave it a shot.
Yeah, no, I had nothing but love for them. They were good to me both times. Both times we went our separate ways on good terms, so they're a good company. A lot of my good friends work there, and actually my girlfriend Melanie is an accountant there now.
Nice. So I say that to the people who help, the young men who help us with our Learn and Earn program, that because of my cousin Jack's influence on my life, that's what I tell them all the time. It's like a great job skill to have is heating and air. And I said, if you do well enough, they're going to give you a van. And I'm like, you're going to get your own van. You're going to be kind of an entrepreneur. They're going to let you sell hot water tanks if you can, try to make a couple bucks. I think if you have hard work, ambition, and have a bit of a hustler, you can make it really well in the heating and air.
Oh, for sure. We have guys that it's amazing to watch them grow, because my husband's been with the company so long, and, doing company events and stuff like that, I've gotten to know a lot of our employees, and watching the younger ones grow to the young men that they are it's amazing, because their drive and ambition their first day, they're scared to death. They don't know what's going to hit them. And then all of a sudden, 2 years later, they're in a van. They have so much confidence. They've grown so much just as a person, and they're now in control of the full job, and they are loving it, and they take so much pride and ownership in it. And it's like they are, when they're out in that van doing that job, you can totally see that it's their company. That's how they feel about when they go out. And that's really awesome to see, because there's not a lot of young people that are like that anymore.
Well, I really think if you're ambitious, it's a great way. I think it's a great way. So Steven's an entrepreneur, so he grew out of it quickly. But
it wasn't that I was trying to work two jobs. I was trying to do everything that I do now plus that on top of it. So I got tired. I mean, I was going home. I was working 6 to 2:30 there, going home, falling asleep at the desk, starting my second job. So that sort of was my problem.
Well, no, but I get it. And that's why I think if you're mechanically inclined or can learn to be mechanically inclined, it's a job that will take you from coast to coast.
Absolutely. You can do anything with this. I always tell the students when I go to tech schools and do talks, this is the jack of all trades. If you can pick this up, you can literally do anything, because you're working with tools, you're using your brain. Like, you can literally do anything. The sky's the limit.
I watched some J.A. Sauer guys be plumbers and roofers and pull it both off perfectly. And they everything was measured perfect. I was like, come on now. We didn't have to go that far. No one's going to see that. But they're like, no, that's what I wanted.
They are very meticulous with their work. Like, if I could show you some pictures of some of the jobs that they do, I've gone out on job sites, and they are like to a T particular, like everything straight lines.
And the customer service is really good too. And that's why I always recommend J.A. Sauer, because you guys will come back in the end and make sure, even if it's cold out, even if it's a difficult, I will sometimes send my difficult friends to you guys, and you guys will handle it.
That's okay. We do it all. We'll deal with any problem there is. That's okay.
And you have.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. And so it goes a long way, you know. What other stuff do you think you have going on this in the future?
So we have a lot of commercial jobs coming up. We also have a lot of residential jobs coming up. One thing that I think is pretty neat, our custom design build, my coworker Heath that you had on last time, he does all of our drafting.
Heath.
Sorry. He does all of our drafting, him and our other employee, Richard. And they come up with some crazy designs sometimes, which is kind of cool, that they get to they have to go within a spec, but they can also kind of have a little freedom to do some things. And today's markets in some of the commercial jobs that are out there, a lot of the industrial look is coming back. So we have a couple jobs, Lawrence Hall, and there's a brewery on Mount Nebo we just did, and it's all exposed ductwork.
Yep.
So everything is out there. You can see it all, which is pretty neat because it's like, oh, that's making us hot or cold. And, you know, like most people don't even think about what's in their walls, but
Right.
this you can actually see it all.
You guys just did that for us in one of our houses. We decided to do exposed ductwork as artwork.
Oh, nice.
And you guys did a great job. So I don't know why we chose it, but that's what we chose. The ceilings were tall. That's why. We had a house with, I don't know what it is, 14-foot high ceilings.
Oh,
so
wow.
it really allowed the exposed ductwork just to hang out in the upper corner. So
Yeah.
I think it looks cool. As a sculptor, I like the metal.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it looks cool.
So before I started doing anything ductwork back in 2011, I never paid attention to it. And now after I worked there, like you go to the gym, you're looking up, you're like, oh, yeah, I know what all that stuff is and what it does now and how cool it is. And like, I even went as far as paying attention to the different fans, the returns, I mean, you just never thought about that stuff until you really got into that world.
I'll tell you what, we can't walk into any place without looking at it.
Right?
Kevin and I both now are looking. He used to always do it. Now I'm looking for it too.
Are you looking to criticize or just
Usually criticize. Our guys could have done it better, I always say.
Right. Well, Steven owns the table now to make ductwork. So that's when I go to your shop and I see Chuck and Chuck and Steven both have that cutting table.
Oh yeah.
The plasma machine.
Yeah. I actually, for a little while, that's what I did when I worked at Uranix, was run the plasma. But they have like a really cool stickering program that, like, when it cuts it, you put the sticker on it. It pretty much tells you how to build every single piece of ductwork. So easy. I won't say it's so easy, but it's
definitely a skill.
Yeah.
It's definitely a skill.
Yeah, when I watch Chuck manage the metal shop, I'm like, this is impressive.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
The only thing I didn't like was dealing with all the galvanized, the smoke from the galvanized. Sometimes, if you're not used to that, and if you're not drinking milk and stuff, it can mess with you some.
You gotta drink milk?
That's what they tell you.
Chuck just drinks Mountain Dew.
Well, he probably doesn't inhale as much galvanized as some people do.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's a well ventilated shop too.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty open.
You wouldn't believe the shops, because I've went around a bunch of them that aren't as ventilated as they should be, being that they are HVAC companies.
Yeah.
Well, you know how they say about the landscaper's yard.
Yeah.
Or the mechanic's car.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my ball joint's going out on my truck as I'm driving here. And I'm like, I got to haul a car 3 hours tonight.
You'll be working on that on the side
I'm
of the
letting
road.
Steve drive that truck.
Nice. Well, I used to have this thing where I had a baseball game, and that's kind of how I met Steven over here. And J.A. Sauer used to be part of my annual baseball game. I used to buy 110 tickets in section 137 on the last Thursday night game in June. That's how we did it for years and years and years. And he would invite a ton of crew from the J.A. Sauer team. And that's also how I met Steven. Steven didn't know a single person out of that 110 people and showed up to the party.
Just like the Pirates and Art and Jason.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So I can remember that moment when Jack walked in with all of his helpers. Heath, of course, was one of them. He's always had Heath. Heath.
Yeah. Heath has been around for a long time, too.
But now Kevin is now helping on transitioning and making
Yes.
some products?
Yeah. So Kevin his story is crazy. He worked for Jack, worked with Jack for 23 years, and now he and Jack are partners, and Kevin is Jack's successor, for lack of better words. But
Is this
it's
first time hearing this, or does everyone
No.
at the company know
they
this?
all know.
Okay.
They all know. We had an announcement probably about 8 months ago.
All right.
So this has been a long process.
Congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you. It's very exciting and scary all at the same time, to keep this legacy going and to make it grow and be better and bigger than it is our goal. And to keep our staff as happy as possible. That's also our goal.
Right.
Because without them, we can't do it. But yeah, it's awesome. It's a great adventure to be on. And I did talk to Jack too about saying this today, so he said yes, that's fine.
Okay, good.
I got permission.
All right. Yeah, he'll be listening to this in Conneaut Lake here
Yeah.
in a few months whenever it drops.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be like, why did you say that?
He's going to want to come on. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm ready now.
Yeah.
I'm ready now.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, everybody, I want to pause right here, and then we'll get into our next episode. Tell everyone how they can find you.
So we have on our Facebook page, you can find us on just J. Sauer Heating and Air Conditioning. We're on there. We're also, our website is jsauerco.com. Or you can give us a call at 412-931-7200 for any of your service needs.
Nice. Steven?
Steven Sickles on most of social media, Revved Up GarageCast, Revved Up Custom and Automotive, all the good stuff. Stay revved up.
Nice. Shout out All For Him Racing, proud sponsor of this podcast. Kelly's Restaurants, thank you to them. Shout out my man Todd, listening from home. Again, thank you. Like, share, subscribe. Without you guys, we don't have a podcast. Thank you, StudioME, Lipson, and of course, our main man Brian Cottington, Behind the Deck Cinema Psychos podcast, 300 plus episodes. And Brian is also probably the most bestest video guy for podcasting. He's been selling out arenas in LA and Miami. You don't even know this about this guy, but he's the guy. He's the face of podcast, right? Video? Sure. All right. All right. Stick around, and I'll see you guys in 2 more weeks, and we'll keep going. I'm going to talk about how we make the most wanted letters.
Yes.